Gotcha.
We've only done, I don't know, 100 episodes. You'd think we'd have this figured out by now. Okay. All right. We'll give it that little 3-second pause and then we'll go. Hello, everyone. This is Jason Batalden with Continuing Education Workforce Training here at Idaho State University College of Technology. Paul, you're on the show with us today. How's things going?
Everything's going great today. It's a nice, beautiful, sunny day out. The snow seems to have pulled away, and I'm kind of liking it.
All right. Well, I'm not there yet, Paul. I know the minute I get excited about sunshine, the weather will just, it'll snow again, and I'll have to bust out the snowblower.
Oh, so, well, I'm going to call it over. I'm going to call it over.
I appreciate the optimism, my friend. I really do. Hey, we've got a really exciting show today. We've got some people here from the Small Business Development Center, and we definitely want to get to them. But before we do, I have to say the magic word.
Magic word?
And the magic word is welcome.
Welcome.
And when we say welcome, we know that the 20-minute timer. And so let's start right off. Anne, please introduce yourself to our audience.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks for having us here today. Excuse me, my job is to smoke 6 cigarettes before I
Hey, that's what the old time radio people did, man. That's
right.
Right.
That's my whiskey voice. I am the director of the Small Business Development Center at Idaho State University, and we're housed in the College of Business. So my job has been for the last almost 8 years now, helping small businesses grow and thrive. And fortunately, we're able to do that at no cost to the businesses, since we have some helpful funding from our friends at the Small Business Administration, as well as from the Idaho State Legislature. And then our host, the College of Business, also has a portion of that budget for us too. So that's who is paying my bill for being here with you today.
Yeah. Well, we're glad you're here, and with that being said, we've got someone else from the Small Business Development Center. That's Chase Downs, and Chase, you are an experienced Sweet Talk podcast guest. You've been on the show before.
Yes, I have. It was when I was kind of talking about the club that I am now the president of, the Sexuality and Gender Alliance. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. You keep this up, we're going to have you sit in the host chair.
I was going to say, I'm a regular guest at this point.
I
love it.
That's why we hired Chase, for his celebrity value,
A celebrity status?
Yeah, your celebrity status.
I love it so much.
There we go. Well, Chase, please, let's introduce yourself. Sorry, I got us a little bit off track, but go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit and tell us a little bit about you and the Small Business Development Center.
Yeah, I got you, Jason. Again, I appreciate you guys kind of having us on here today. It's super, super cool. And so I'm a graduate assistant for the Idaho SBDC, and I work alongside Anne. I've been working there since last August while I finish up my last semester of my MBA program. So pretty exciting stuff, and I've gotten a chance to learn a lot from Anne, Claudia, and the rest of the team here in Region 5. So super cool stuff.
Very cool.
I have to say that Chase is I've had a few GAs in my lifetime, and most of them are very good. Chase is the best GA I have ever had. He truly is a celebrity.
He really is.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I know this is a podcast, but Chase, we bearded fellas that got to hang out. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? We got to stick together, because someday we're going to take over the world. That's just the way.
I'm definitely the odd one out here, then. Although as I age, a few of these little hairs come in.
Well, I thought you were going to I thought you were going to point out that Chase is definitely well branded today.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look at that. I got it going. I've got it going today. Hey, so the Small Business Development Center. So, I mean, talk about really branding. It's really kind of clear in your title what you guys, or who you guys work for, and kind of what, who you're working with and what you're trying to accomplish. But why don't you give us the kind of the specifics? What does the Small Business Development Center do?
Well, I'll take the big picture, and then Chase can fill in some more specifics with some examples. I think that would probably be helpful. So the Small Business Development Center is available in every county and every territory in the United States. So this is a national service, and it's always free. No one pays. Well, actually, they do pay through their taxes, but
Right.
no one pays for our services directly. So our goal is to help businesses basically through three service channels. The first one is consulting, so one-on-one consulting, meeting with businesses and finding out what their specific issues are. The second one is through training. So we produce both local and statewide training, as well as conferences when we're not in the middle of a pandemic. So our region is I like to think, has a good reputation for our annual Women's Business Symposium. Obviously, it hasn't happened in the last couple of years, but we're hoping 2022 changes that. So consulting, training, and then the third piece is research, and that has to do with our connection to ISU. So we partner our clients with students, typically MBA students or seniors in their capstone class, and then those folks work on maybe a more in-depth project for a client, like a complete market analysis or something that might take a more time than just one or two meetings would cover. So that's our kind of buffet of services. And I'll let Chase talk about a couple of examples of how we work with clients. I do want to mention that we keep everything confidential about our clients. So we can't give you specific names of clients on this show, but we can certainly give you some examples of the types of clients we work with. Go ahead, Chase.
So, and it's pretty awesome that you talk about the capstone class and the opportunities that provides for a lot of the students in the undergraduate program. I took on a client myself when I was in my undergraduate program, and it was just a super cool experience. But in terms of specific kinds of things that we can do for small business owners, we can provide assistance on tax questions, market feasibility, overall business strategy. If they need, or if they have questions with hiring or firing employees, we can kind of help them guide. We can kind of help guide them in the right direction there. Marketing and digital marketing is another big thing for us. Website development. A lot of things are moving into the online world now. I mean, we're able to kind of help a lot. We're kind of able to help answer a lot of those questions as well. And then bookkeeping and accounting. Lots of people, it's kind of a little bit of a headache. There's a lot of things that they may not know. So that's definitely another area that we can help them out.
So
Yeah.
is that like any kind of small business, from, a farm to coffee shop to, I mean, is there any kind of business? Let's ask it the easier way to answer. Is there a small business that you wouldn't benefit from your guys' help?
That's more around just what our mission is. We're specifically designated to work with for-profits. So
Okay.
every once in a while we'll have an inquiry from a not-for-profit, and we're happy to help give them some resources and point them in the right direction. But that's really the only type of small business that we don't work with a lot. And then the other rule for small business is 500 employees or less. So I think that's maybe 3 businesses in Pocatello that we can't work with. So
That's true. That's
it's
a
a
good
pretty
point.
broad definition of what a small business is. But I would say typically our clients are under 10 and under employees. So yeah, that's our usual population that we work with.
So with all the, I guess, services that Chase had mentioned, kind of overall, how did COVID affect you helping the businesses? I mean, number one, it kind of probably affected how you interact, but also could you help the businesses interact with their clients?
Yeah. So what Chase mentioned, for example, about web development and digital marketing. So we saw a big increase in felt need for e-commerce development. And so fortunately, as part of the CARES Act funding, the SBDC got money to help expand services. So we hired a web developer with
Okay.
May when we hired our web developer.
Hey,
A
Ann.
lot of other
Ann?
folks we've worked with directly in terms of their digital strategy. And one of our favorite ways to do that is to look also what competitors are doing. But yeah, there's been a huge demand in that. So that was
That's good.
Well,
Hey, Ann, yeah, Ann, you kind of broke up there a little bit. Chase, can you fill in maybe some of the pieces there that we missed?
yeah, absolutely. So, you know, COVID affected businesses a lot.
Oh,
It looks like we lost
we
Ann.
just
Yeah,
lost
we
Ann.
lost
Hopefully,
Ann.
hopefully she'll be resurrected.
Yes.
She'll come. That's the beautiful thing about the digital age, right? You just hit the
For
reset
real.
button.
Absolutely. So with COVID, it affected a lot of small business owners. I think they ran into a lot of different challenges. It also provided a lot of opportunities. It really just kind of depended on what industry they're getting into. But in terms of everything kind of had to move to online, even for us. A lot of the appointments that we schedule with clients had to be over Zoom. That's kind of what we do right now to, I guess, combat all of the social distancing measures in place. So that's kind of the way that we solved that problem. But then, is there anything else, Anne, that you want to add?
Well, yeah, Ann, you're back. So we're glad to have you back.
I'm back. Yeah, it said my connection is unstable.
Right. So yeah, I think you're good on just audio. So that
Okay, I'll
think
stay on audio. That will be
Yeah.
took
No,
over
Chase.
just fine when I fell off the internet there for a second.
Chase did wonderful. For you. He filled in some of the gaps where you had we lost you. So just wanted to kind of let you know that.
Okay,
too.
good.
So, yeah. So hey,
Did Chase talk about the funding?
no,
Sorry, the
if you
funding
want to clear,
opportunities that were
yeah.
available?
Why don't you
Yeah, I
clear?
would like to cover that. That was
Yes,
really
please.
a big learning curve for the SBDC back in May and June when the first wave of assistance came through for small businesses. So we were really learning it at the same time the bankers were and the clients were, but we feel really proud of the fact that we helped so many people get dollars in their banks. And to my knowledge, um, our client base so far has only experienced 2 bankruptcies. And we see 400, we've probably got 400 people in our base right now. So, yeah.
Okay. So you said all the businesses that come to you, they're looking for different services. I mean, do you also provide maybe some tax advice as well?
We do. That's new. Chase, do you want to talk about Deb a little bit?
Yeah, so we recently hired on Deb Gerber. She's a licensed CPA. And I think you guys have worked a little bit with her. She recently came out with those tax tip videos. So there's a little instant plug right there.
Yeah.
There you go.
It was kind of a loaded question because I did film some tax tips.
I love that. Gotta hype her up, Deb
Yes.
Deb is fantastic. Especially with tax season kind of sneaking up on all of us. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions in terms of the stimulus packages and stuff like that small business owners are going to have questions with. And so far, Deb really makes sure to stay caught up on that. And again, with those videos, she's super duper helpful. But yeah, we definitely can help clients out with tax questions that they may have now that we have Deb in our arsenal. So
nice. Because I guess with a lot of small businesses, they do have all these questions. I mean, they not just taxes, but how do I do this? How do I do that?
Oh, yeah.
How do I reach out to customers? How do I create new customers? How do I order my supplies that I need? It's kind of frustrating because there is no guidebook and a lot of times for small businesses.
Well, we kind of strive to be that guidebook, but we suffer a little bit from almost like we offer everything. And one of the things we tell our clients in a marketing context is that you really want to focus on what you offer and be specific with your audiences and we do that to some extent kind of behind the scenes at the SBDC, but we really do have a real encyclopedia of knowledge about how business works in Idaho and how small businesses can access all kinds of resources. So we really pride ourselves on leaving no question unanswered, right? So we can either refer it out or we have a resource somewhere. And that's something that I'm pretty proud of.
Well, and I imagine because of helping so many people over a period of time, you have a wide knowledge base on, how to help almost any business that might come to you. Is that correct?
Yeah, I would say that's true. I don't think anybody would leave our office empty-handed. I can't think of a time in recent memory where that's happened.
So let's say, again, going back to my earlier reference, let's say, small business, whatever it may be, do they have to, other than being under 500 total employees, and I'm assuming being based in Idaho, are there any other kind of things they have to meet in order to be eligible for your services?
Well, you do have to sign off that you haven't been convicted of a felony or defrauding the government before you can get our services.
Okay.
Which is
All right.
definitely important for sure.
So the bar is pretty low, actually.
Okay.
All right. Good.
Or pretty high, depending on who you are, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I guess maybe yes, the question, there isn't really a business you couldn't help, as long,
Right.
again, going back to, if they're not nonprofit, if they're not a large business over 500, and they're not trying to, do something illegal or have a
Right.
history of doing something illegal.
Right.
So.
I guess I would add, just for trivia's sake, we can't deal with any adult entertainment. So we can't help strip clubs. We can't do casinos. And also because it's not federally regulated or legal now, we can't help anybody with marijuana businesses.
Yeah.
So we have to be really careful around that too.
Yeah,
but we don't have a ton of demand. Actually, I don't think any of those businesses have ever approached me. So far,
right.
So good.
So if someone wanted to come to you for advice on how to grow their business, what would be your biggest pitch or your biggest point of advice that you would provide them?
Well, I'm sure Chase has his thoughts about this too. Do you want to go first, Chase?
Yeah, and a little caveat onto just, the different types of businesses that we can help. If we don't have an answer or we haven't worked in a certain industry, the nice part about the SBDC is that it's such a wide network all across the state that we can reach out to other consultants in other areas and see if they have any answers. But back to like the challenges with growing a business, I think one of the main things that we tell people to look at that are looking to either get started with one or just trying to really understand how they can expand theirs is to look at what other people are doing. Look at what other people are doing in the same industry, see what works for them, see what doesn't work for them, and really try to capitalize on those things.
So is that part of where your networking would help? You have access to people who are advising other businesses, similar businesses that have already gone through some of the challenges that someone you might help are facing?
Exactly. I think, networking is super duper important. And with the SBDC, all the consultants know a lot of different people in the world, especially the business world. So yeah, I mean, if we don't have, necessarily the answers right away, we can usually just take some time to do the research, reach out to other consultants and get those answers. So
nice.
So I want to Ann, did you want to add something to that?
I did want to add just a couple things to that. One of the things that we have done in the past is we refer clients to clients. So if there's someone in an industry that may not be a direct competitor, but is sort of a compatible industry, we've done that before. And I really like Chase's point there that looking to see what other people are doing well is really the best place to start. And what we can do is give a business some tools and ask the right questions that are going to help them organize that search and that understanding.
Very cool. Very cool. I had this great question and I kind of just lost it. So I'm going to stumble for just a little bit. But, I guess the thing that kind of dawned on me a little bit was just the, small business, lifeblood. I mean, there's statistics that I'm sure you guys know them that show, the vitality of an economy is kind of judged by the vitality of the small business. I'm assuming. Is that a correct assumption on my part that the integral part of small business to the overall economy is quite significant, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think it's just a matter of numbers too, because so many businesses are categorized as small businesses,
Oh, I
with the
see.
500 employees or less. That's just the majority of businesses, period. So I don't know that there's anything magic about a small business per se, but that's what really business is in a country. And certainly they don't get the press that the Microsofts and
Sure.
Ubers and really big business gets, but uh, just because of their numbers are highly influential on the economy.
Yeah, right on. So with that kind of being said, and I guess my kind of next question then is you've had to learn how to adapt to COVID yourself. Are you guys seeing successes? Are you seeing business successes during this past year? And that's the timer, but I kind of want to just curious. Has this been just as brutal of a year for small business as we can imagine, or are you seeing businesses make it and hearing some success stories?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think part of the answer is geographic there.
Okay.
Idaho has had a little bit different, unique experience economically compared to some other states in the union.
Mm-hmm.
So that I think, for whatever reason, I'm not sure what the magic behind that is exactly, but um, those small businesses haven't seen as much detrimental impact, I think, as other places. Our unemployment rates didn't go as high as other states. So I think there were some contributing, and time will tell maybe in a look back on why that was. But I think that Idaho small businesses, and granted, we only see our clients, the numbers within our client base.
That's true. That's
That's
true.
not every small business in the region, right? So and SBDC businesses tend in general to be more successful because they're the kind of businesses that will seek out and accept assistance and are motivated to do that. So I've had a couple clients who've had a really good year just because of what their business is.
Mm-hmm.
A 3D printing company, converted to printing PPE really well this year.
Right.
I have a very specialized construction company who doubled their income from the previous year, and it's a very specialized industry, so I'm not real sure what's behind that, but we certainly have had companies do just fine.
Good.
Excellent.
And bounce back. Yeah.
Well, that's good. And that's good news to hear on this. So I know our timer just went off. So Paul, do you want to ask the
Yes.
question?
If someone was interested in contacting you, how would they do that?
Go ahead, Chase.
Yeah, so they can email Ann or myself. It's annswanson@isu.edu or chasedowns@isu.edu. People can also sign up for an appointment online at idahosbdc.org. We are under Region 5. It takes 2 seconds to sign up for an appointment, and lots of people are usually happy that they do. Trying to think, Ann, is there anything else? Obviously, phone numbers. People can call me directly at 208-550-9142.
And I'm at 208-244-8521.
Excellent.
Very good.
Excellent.
And we'll include all those links and numbers in the description. So if you're checking out the podcast, be sure to keep an eye out for those and you'll find them. So
okay. Is there anything last things you'd like to share with us before we sign off?
Chase?
I think I'm good.
Well,
Chase, you're always good.
I
mean, you're just that cool cat, dude.
He is. He's so mellow.
Yeah. So
yeah, I want to add one thing that sometimes
sure.
a couple of myth buster moments here at the very end. The first one is that we only help startups, which is far from the truth. We actually work with more existing businesses than startup businesses. So I wanted to clear that up. And the other myth is that we have a secret pile of grant money to give out, which I wish we did. I mean, that would be, I would be far more popular than I am now. But there aren't really grant sources, free money for small businesses and startup businesses. So that's one of the questions we answer a lot. So I thought I'd get that cleared up. But I do want to end on a positive note. What we do have, though, are many, many resources for helping write business plans and then helping connect people with financing if that's really what they're looking to do.
Right on.
Excellent. Excellent.
Very good. Well, look, I thank you both for being on our show today, Chase and Ann. And Ann, all you have to do is be on our show one more time, and then you might be in running for host duties. So
yeah, I'm chipping away at my 15 minutes here.
Yeah, that's right. Chase, I think you're eligible now for host responsibilities. So we'll keep you up on that. So, hey, I thank you very much for being on the show. And we definitely want to remind those that listen to it and watch our show where they can find us at cetrain.isu.edu. That's cetrain.isu.edu. And the phone number is 208-282-3372. And be sure to check us out. We've got a lot of different options and class choices and learning opportunities to help small businesses. And we definitely want to put a big promo in for Small Business Development Center. We've got some videos out there that help you some tax tips, so check that out as well. And thank you very much for being on the show.
Yes, thanks
for having us.
Thank you so much for having us. We really do appreciate it.
Excellent.